But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go and watch this video on this is by Francesca Fiorentini at the Bitchuation Room. Um, she's gonna talk. This is called Ye and Louis C.K.'s Disturbingly Easy Comebacks. This is, I assume, about their quote unquote cancellation. Which, I mean, I don't even know if Louis C.K. was ever really canceled. I think that he was performing pretty big shows since immediately after his cancellation. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what she has to say about all this.
So this weekend, Kanye West or Ye or Yeezus or I don't know, Nazi guy, because I'm calling him Nazi guy. Man who for the last 2 years has been, maybe more, has been doing a sharp descent into Nazism.
Is that right?
It started with some merch that was like, it's okay to be white. Like a lot, which is sort of a Nazi like slogan. It's okay to be white. Because apparently it's not somehow in their minds.
Dude, Kanye, I do not know what happened with Kanye, man. He went from like George Bush hates black people, like you remember that one after Hurricane Katrina, to like full on like Black Klansman. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I literally have no idea what happened to him. I think that his like I know that he has like bipolar disorder or whatever. I think that he probably just, you know, got in with the wrong people, the wrong crowd or something, who just like warped his brain. But I don't know. I don't want to take all of the all of the blame away from him or whatever, like, and put it all on his mental illness. But like, yeah, he went kind of off the deep end, dude.
He and Candace Owens got together. He and Nick Fuentes, you know, were homies.
Whoa.
He I can't remember. He did meet at the he met Trump at Trump Tower. I don't think he was at the Mar-a-Lago dinner, but correct me, Chad, if I'm wrong about this. And, you know, in the last 6 months, it's gotten precipitously worse. He released a song called Heil Hitler, which the best part about that song is the chorus goes, my N-word Heil Hitler, my N-word Heil, and just like, it's just, I don't know.
I've never heard that song except for the clip of like Andrew Tate and all the Groiper dudes, or like the claviculars or whatever, singing that song in that one nightclub that, I don't know, what, like a month or two ago. His daughter had a terrible concert for way too much money, I guess, the other day. You mean Kanye's daughter? I didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't even know she. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know he had a daughter. I don't keep up, I guess, with that much. But yeah, I also didn't know that they were a performer. So that's interesting.
Feel bad for Adolf, you know what I mean? I feel a little bit bad, you know. But anyway, the point is that he was like renting out warehouses in Hollywood and hiring a bunch of actors and singers to sing Heil Hitler and like do all these weird Nazi chants. And he's gone off the deep end. And over the weekend, he straight up sold out SoFi Stadium twice. $33 million.
Okay, so I did hear that he was I think that he was going to what, the UK or something, and didn't he get blocked, if I remember correctly, like from going to the UK? Okay, yeah, the UK prevented him, because I guess he was going to perform in the UK and they prevented him. So yeah, that's interesting. Where's SoFi Stadium? California. Okay, so he's still, I guess, selling out shows in California, or like in America, it seems.
And
also, for those unaware, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, if you have, sorry, but I think that Kanye West is potentially the next like like one of the next presidential candidates for America. I'm just putting it out there. I think that we're on a transitionary phase, but I do think it's going to end with Kanye West as the Republican candidate for uh, for America. I think that we need the full. White supremacy has long been a white man's game in America, and I think it's time we diversify it a little bit. And get Kanye's like, put me in, coach. I will be your black white supremacist king. Like, I think that but honestly, I do think like he is potentially the next evolution after Donald Trump. He has the same narcissism and charisma that Donald Trump has. And then obviously a lot of the same like Nazi ideology, it seems like at this point. So and yeah, I don't know. I think it's time. I think it's time. We'll see. We'll see if it happens.
Because 2 months combined, I think.
Okay, go ahead. So
maybe it's one of the, and like in the early months of the year, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been having a mental health episode."
He goes in and out of those.
I'm neurodivergent. I'm Nazi divergent. So he goes in and out of this. And like, number one, who the fuck are the rubes who are buying tickets to see him live still? And then number two, like, how is it SoFi like, yeah, no, that's good. No, that's fine. Across town, there's a warehouse with a bunch of people shouting Heil Hitler, but please come. And, heaven forbid that person said free Palestine. Then of course they would never be allowed anywhere here. But like, this is the kind of where you realize like men can get away with anything. And sort of relatedly, and in the comedy world, Louis C.K. is headlining the Netflix is a Joke Festival
at the Hollywood.
It's not about men can get away with it. I mean, obviously they can. Like they have more leeway in society like than women do or whatever. But the main thing is that Nazism is not a challenge to American power or American interests, right? Like particularly, the billionaire Epstein class interest, right? In fact, fascism at home is the end state of capitalism. It is when people are immiserated enough, you need a full army going in and maintaining, like beating down the populace as they try to, get their scraps or whatever. Like fascism is kind of like the end stage of capitalism. And so when like Trump or when Kanye or whoever go out there and like, go and kind of like align themselves with fascism, then it's not really like, it's not that scary to the people in power, because I think to some extent they know that if they want to keep making even more like super profits, they're going to have to like turn more towards fascism. And so, yeah, that's why that's not scary to them. When people go out and, scream pro-Palestine or like free Palestine or whatever, like dismantling the apartheid state of Israel will have direct economic consequences to those same billionaires. Like they make a shit ton of money profiting off of the weapon systems and like all of the AI, like facial recognition, like all that sort of shit that they practice on Palestinians and stuff like that. That stuff ain't cheap. Like they have a huge investment in the apartheid state of Israel. So like when you go out and say free Palestine, that's where there's an actual you're actually going against power, and that's why they try to stamp it down so much. So you can really tell what is actually speaking truth to power based on the government and large corporate interests, like how they respond to it. Yeah, David. Most guys get away with stuff because we're invisible. If a girl tries to do something, she's got like 20 eyes. Yeah, I don't know if I like I think that it's probably more, if you're talking about the difference between like what men are allowed to get away with than women, I would say I would think it's more because of the patriarchal like system that we have in place that is designed to allow men to get away with more, because the like subjugation of a group of people, whether it's black people, whether it's women or whatever, like all of these things, all of these structures are created to in some way like, how do I want to say this, um to some way divide us in a sense, but also to uh allow the profiteering off of these divisions that are created. And so the reason that we allow men to get away with more is to create a sort of system where the men feel like they can buy into it because they get something out of it. And then like the women like are kind of just forced to go along with it, essentially. I don't know, I'm trying to like process, and I might not have said that eloquently, but you know, I think that there's that's probably how, where I would say it comes from personally.
Wood Bowl?
At the Hollywood Bowl. And I'm like, I don't look, Louis can come back. He's come back.
He came back a while
back
ago.
a long time ago. He had a special.
And
he
he's
has a
been
book.
loyally followed, like Kanye sold out SoFi twice. Louis always sells out
Louis,
as well.
Absolutely.
I can get 20 people maybe sometimes in Kansas City.
They're both comedians, by the way.
That's probably the reason why.
No, and it's like, it's one thing. Look, it's fine. Like, I think, you know, no charges had been pressed against Louis, you know, that I know of. Maybe they should have been, honestly. But like, it's okay.
My understanding, for those unaware of what Louis did, is I think he jacked off into some plants or something. I think that he had unsuspecting women, as far as I know, come into his like, essentially like get sent to his office, and then I think he would just, I don't know if he asked or if he just started doing it, but then I think he would like jack off into a plant or something, and like, you know, he wanted them to watch him. I think it was generally considered non-consensual. But like, obviously that one, like in terms of gradations of evil, like I think Kanye is probably way higher up there personally. But yeah, I mean, still obviously like any sort of flashing sort of stuff is a traumatizing experience for women and probably should be prosecuted if it wasn't. But yeah, that's kind of what he was.
And release his own self album. But the fact that Netflix was like, no, you know what, we need a headliner in the year 2026 of Louis C.K., someone who was like, you know, relevant 15 years ago, peaked. Like, come on now, like this is your headliner. It's just so.
This is why I hate Netflix. I fucking hate Netflix. They and this is basically capitalism, right? As well.
Yes, it's all it is.
Meaning, like, so what that this guy did X, Y, and Z. This also happens in sports, where some guy will get a domestic abuse thing, and he'll be back soon after because he's really good.
Yeah.
On the playing field,
right?
You know, and Louis funny, and Louis got this big following, so Netflix just wants, you know, the notoriety. They
want the money, and the same thing with Chappelle. That's why they were like, "Oh, you want to do 5 anti-trans specials? Please go ahead." I mean, not everything was anti-trans, but every special had like a moment of just, in my opinion.
Dude, Dave Chappelle has like an autistic hyperfixation on trans people. I don't know what is going on in that dude's brain.
Egregious anti-trans hate.
Wow.
But
and he covered it with saying, I'm best friends with the trans person.
Yeah, who then she later commits suicide because of negative comments. Don't even get me started, Eddie. This makes me so mad. But
it's very confusing too for me because I grew up, and Louis too. These guys, Chappelle and Louis, were so so funny,
Yep.
so polished, like on stage, just amazing. Maybe even 1 and 2 as far as stand-ups go
Oh,
in
sure.
my. And so and then they do this bullshit stuff like Louis jerking off in front of people without their consent or
Without their
with consent.
well, his thing was asking, like, can I? And didn't matter the answer, he would do it.
Okay. So that was what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And it was an open secret. Everyone knew. Everyone in comedy knew. And the women who eventually spoke out about it, their careers were ruined.
Can I give this a bigger context? The bigger context is we live in such a lawless world now. Gaza was the end of international law.
I like that you're couching the Louis stuff in the international law of Gaza. I like keep going.
Well, he's not wrong though. I mean, we'll see what he says, but I assume it's going to be along the lines of like, as we've degraded our international norms, especially since Gaza, the might makes right mentality that we were talking about earlier. You know, it's just going to create more, like even more sense of impunity amongst, like, essentially a might makes right mentality inside of our populace as well, which will probably have terrible consequences, particularly for women. I'm going to be honest. I think that as we degrade our moral society or our morals on the international stage, I do think that there's going to be a lot of people, you know, and especially like we have Donald Trump as our president. Like he is literally a representative of like the highest position of power in our country, and he is a rapist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that a lot of guys are going to like a lot of bad people are going to see that and probably take that into consideration. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel, yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Mr. CK, no. No, what I'm saying is that morality and what is right and what is wrong now, because of like just the amazing horrific things that corporate money does
Yes.
to everyone and to the environment. And you know, guys like Louis and Dave, it's like, what is right anymore when this world is just being taken apart by the tyrants and the violent people?
Well, I mean, I will say the difference between those two. One is kind of open with his opinion. It's like one is he's couching it in his jokes. Dave Chappelle doesn't have, you know, the allegations actually harming people, ruining their careers and whatnot, whereas Louis does. But it is, I do think that should be his opener of Louis being like, hey, look, now that we're in nuclear war, what I did looks pretty good. Like, not a big, he was my favorite Louis little stat. He was in Kyiv the night that
Sorry,
He was
the Ukrainian war.
Francesca's pretty funny sometimes.